What's up, everybody? So I figured I'm sitting in traffic. I might as well make a video, talk a little bit about credit with you guys. So first off, I want to shout out to the 23 people that reached out to me this week through my Instagram and asked for help and signed up for the program. Excited for you guys to get you guys, credits back on track. Can't wait to share the results that y'all end up getting going through our program. Now, one thing I do want to go ahead and share with everybody, just to kind of point out the difference between how we help our clients versus traditional disputing, and how people work on, or other people work on their clients' credit. So one thing most companies do, whether it's a large company or a one-man band, most people just do generic disputing. Basically, that's when you are basically using letters you find online, and you're using the same generic letter for all of your clients dealing with whatever it may be, collections, late payments, repo, foreclosure, bankruptcy, and basically hoping that items get removed off of your client's credit. Now, the problem with generic disputing is, one, you can technically do that yourself for free. Number two, you got to understand that millions of other people every single month are working on their credit, most likely sending the same letters you're using or the company is using. And the credit bureaus recognize this. When they see the same letters over and over again, they tend to get ignored. So that's why a lot of people will say, yeah, I disputed, but I didn't hear nothing back. Or they just sent me a letter saying it was verified, and the item is still on my credit. It's because you're using generic letters. And when you do this, it prolongs the process. So that's also why you hear clients, or I hear clients, but you might hear people, or you might have dealt with this yourself, where you was with a company or you had someone working on your credit and it took them a year and a half, almost 2 years, and they only got 1 or 2 items removed or nothing removed, or they got something removed and 6 months or a year later it popped back up on your credit, and now you're dealing with it all over again. Okay, that happens when you're doing these generic disputings. Okay, so to avoid all of that and to speed up the process, we actually audit the credit bureaus and we do an investigation on them, basically using the federal laws to make sure they're reporting everything 100% accurate. So we do not dispute whether it's actually yours or not, or whether you did it or not. We're actually auditing them, asking them to provide proof that you're responsible for this, okay? Because most of the time these companies don't actually have the proof that they are required to have, and because of that, we can get items removed off your credit, and you don't have to worry about it popping back up, and we can do it a lot quicker than other companies or a person who's doing generic disputing. Okay, so that's really the difference. That's why a lot of clients come through our program, because it's a lot quicker. And when you're trying to get a house within the 6 months or within a year and whatnot, you want to get this done as quickly as possible. Now, another thing I want to point out is basically how this all works, because a lot of people have no clue how credit repair works and whatnot. So, hold on, let me get over. I don't want to wreck. I want to make it. Okay. Now, when it comes to credit repair, we like to give the analogy that it's pretty much like if you were to get a speeding ticket, right? And when you get a speeding ticket, because a lot of people can relate to that, but if you've never gotten a speeding ticket, great, you're a great driver, good job. But when you get a speeding ticket, you have 2 options. Either one, you pay the speeding ticket, but when you do that, it remains on your record. Your car insurance ends up going up and whatnot. Or you can take it to court, challenge the speeding ticket, and if the officer who gave you the ticket does not show up, then the ticket gets dismissed like it never happened, because there was no proof that that you were speeding, right? And so it's the same thing with credit. Like, if you have a collection and you pay the collection, they're gonna update it to a 0 balance, but it's still gonna be on your credit, still affecting your credit and your scores, and you're still gonna need someone to get it removed, right? Now, if you challenge it and they don't provide the proper proof that they're supposed to by law, then it has to be removed. Now, a lot of problem is a lot of people run across when they're trying to dispute things themselves is the credit bureaus will just send them a letter saying, yeah, it's verified, but without actually showing evidence. They have to show evidence, meaning they have to show something like a contract that you signed that got your signature on it, that's stating that you are reliable for this, or they have to also provide like a billing history or something of that nature. They just can't send you a piece of paper saying, yes, verified, and you have to deal with it. But they do this because most people don't even know the laws and whatnot. So, they get away with it. But regardless, that's pretty much the analogy. So that's kind of the approach we use, is we're using the federal laws, we're auditing them, and we're trying to get these items dismissed off your credit like it never ever happened. Now, worst case scenario, they verify it. They send the piece of paper that has your signature or the billing, which most of the time they don't have, but it does come back verified sometimes. So when that happens, at that point, what we do is we have a debt settlement department. Basically, they'll reach out to the creditors on your behalf. They'll settle for the lowest amount possible, but most important part is they'll make them sign a pay to delete letter. This basically means that if we agree to pay this, whatever the amount is, that you guarantee that this is going to get removed, and we get that in writing, because sometimes they'll say that just to get you to pay, and then you pay and they don't do it. So we have it in writing so we can just send it to the credit bureaus and be like, hey, they agreed to this, we need this removed off. Boom, it's gone. Right now, a lot of people try to do this on their own, and this is where they mess up. They'll tell you, yeah, if you pay it, we'll delete it, but you don't get it in writing. If you don't get it in writing, you basically screwed yourself, because I can't tell you how many times I hear clients say, yeah, they told me they were going to delete it once I paid it, and then I deleted it, but it's been 3, 4, 6 months and it's still on there, and they said it's going to be gone within 30 days, and I can't get a hold of no one now. Or I call them and they just keep transferring me over to other departments. Right? That's where you go wrong. You have to get it in writing. We get it in writing, so it's once it's done and said for, because at the end of the day, you want these items off your credit so your scores can reflect and go up. So that's the whole goal. That's the one of the major problems people come across, because they'll tell you whatever they can to just try to get that money out of your pocket and then leave it on your credit, because they don't care. They got their money, they're good, right? So again, worst case scenario, they verify it. You want to make sure you get a pay to delete. A lot of times they'll tell you that they can't do that just because they don't want to. It's extra work on their behalf. Once they get their money, it's no point for them to do that. It's no benefit for them. It's a benefit for you, but not for them. They got their money, they're good. So don't fall for that. Again, we never fall for that. Once we get that pay to delete, it's out of there. So I just wanted to kind of touch bases on that real quick. I'm going to go ahead and focus on driving so I can make it home safely, and I'll be talking to you guys later.